Now, of course, the reason why Shoaib Malik has to cut his CPL, not career, but his CPL, this particular edition short, is that you're headed for a camp for the Asia Cup, which of course is massive for India and Pakistan, because no matter what else happens in the Asia Cup, it's about those possible 2, maybe even 3 games for India to play Pakistan in the UAE. So, I mean, that it doesn't get bigger than that, does it ever?
Of course, even for players as well as people from Pakistan and India, and I think this is something which brings 2 countries together, and I think even the differences, I would say, become less. And I think as a cricketer, I would want to see that more games being played against India, Pakistan, more games I want to see. And I think people from Pakistan, they also would want to see the same thing. But of course, I think for me, when I was like young and came in the side, newcomer, when we used to play against India was a very big thing for me. But nowadays, I think it's not that big, because you know it creates a lot of pressure around you. So I take it just as another game, and I think that's the same message I also try to give our youngsters. It's just another game, just go out there, enjoy it, give your best shot. So even I've seen the same thing in Indian cricketers as well. They have been doing the same thing, but I think it's end of the day, one thing for sure, if you do well, you become a hero.
You talk about becoming a hero. 2004, 2009, 200s that we remember from Shoaib Malik against India. Some of Indians don't, of course, remember it that fondly, but when you do that, you know that it's something that you're performing not just at the highest stage, but against the toughest opposition, and that's the message you can send to the youngsters.
Yeah, of course. I think it's a great opportunity for all the youngsters, not just from Pakistan, in Indian team as well. Whoever does well becomes a hero, and I think it's a great opportunity. But I think it's been a while now since I've scored runs against India. Everyone's talk about those hundreds, but I think time has come to come up with something which can help the team end of the day. But I think it's a great opportunity for all of us.
But it's a great time for Pakistan ODI cricket, because as defending champions of the Champions Trophy, and this is basically the next tournament, multi-nation tournament, going into a World Cup year. So it's a good space to be with a mix of the likes of yourself and the youngsters, the fearless youngsters like Fakhar Zaman who are performing.
Well, I think the youngsters, I would say they bring so much energy in the team, and the positivity which they bring, I think that's I've never seen you know, in the recent past. Of course, I was a youngster, I've played with such big names, but I think these cricketers, youngsters like Fakhar Zaman, Shadab Khan, Hassan Ali, Imad Wasim, I'm sorry if I forget any other name.
That's a problem when you have so much of talent.
Exactly. But I would say all these youngsters, whoever been like got selected in the recent past and been doing well, I think they bring a lot of energy to the team, and I think we are blessed to have them, and I really have very high hopes from them. And the way they have been performing, I'm sure they have a long career, and they'll be consistent, because they're on the right track. In any sports, you perform or you don't perform, but if you're going in the right direction, I think that helps in your career, and if you're playing a team sport. So I think it's a great sign for Pakistan cricket. And even I must mention our PSL platform, which our cricket board have given. Especially I must take Najam Sethi sir's name and his team, the way they have been conducting, and I think it's a great sign for Pakistan cricket, because we have seen a lot of youngsters, they came in the side and they did well, and they're still doing well, and I think this product will give a lot to our country.
You know, especially the fact that you're looking at the PSL taking cricket back to Pakistan. You've had a few international countries touring. I was talking to Darren Sammy the other day, and he said it was such a pleasure to go, and he said the one thing he wants to see is next step India going back to Pakistan? How big would that be?
Well, of course, if India comes to Pakistan, that is something which can't be described in words. And even if you ask Indian players who all have toured to Pakistan, the hospitality and the love which they got from Pakistan, I think me answering this question will not give that hype or something. But I think even when I speak to Indian players, they always say this thing. Even in the recent past, I think director for Bahubali 2, they went to Karachi, director and the producer, and they said in their interview that the hospitality which they got, I think that was exceptional. Even when I go to India, I don't really think that I'm outside of Pakistan.
You're one of us, Shoaib.
But still, even before my marriage, I think the hospitality and the love from people was like exceptional.